Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta. No matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. Wow. Let's get into it. Let's discuss. I am sure we're all going to be disgruntled today. And we have a massive announcement at the end of the show. Let's rock and roll, kids.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do we begin? I'll tell you where we begin. And today we have something. I know the game was horrible, but we have a big announcement at the end of the show. And we're going to do something a little bit different today for our post-game show. And I'm sure you'll all be really excited about it. Today I am joined by our African Gooners. We are live from Nigeria. And joining me right now is broadcaster and former communications manager of the Super Eagles, the Nigerian national team, Femi Raji. Welcome to Squad Central, your debut.
Yeah, that's good.
Hi.
Hi, Sophie.
From Africa.
Hi. Femi, I was hoping that it would be a bit more joyous. Of course, we have a big announcement at the end of the show, so please stay tuned. I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit more joyous. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, squaddies, no matter where in the world you might be. Hi, Rich. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Carol. Hi, everyone. Please make sure you do what our chief like officer says. Hit the like button. That would be great. We've got Jean Rene in the house, Aditya, Seb, Ian's here, Mohammed's here. The whole fam jam is here. Archangel's here. Wes is here. We'll get all of your comments up as the show goes. Femi and our Nigerian African Gooners live over there on one of the world's most fabulous continents. A huge following for the Arsenal where you are. What did you guys... Let's talk about it, because I thought that we controlled the first half. Saka and Havertz looked like they were about to have another amazing game together. And we have to just talk about the decision that changed the game. Femi, what do you and your guys think over there? Starting with you, Femi.
Well, in fact, huge disappointment. The referee's decision at some point elicited huge reactions, but definitely it was a game Arsenal should have won. But it just didn't happen this way. But what we can take from it, the plus is it's happening early in the season. I remember usually early matches happens after the international break for Arsenal, for a big team for Arsenal. But this has come before the international break. It means there'll be time to think about this huge, I don't want to call it a draw, huge setback. And then they will get on from it. But we have the African Gooners right here too. In fact, Sophie, you won't believe it. We call it a viewing center and a mini bar here in Africa, in Nigeria. And in fact, the food they ordered, they could not eat the food after the equalizer. So hey, you can imagine what's happening here. You get the reaction from there. This is Joy.
Hello.
Hi, Joy.
Hi,
Yeah.
Sophie.
This is Eddie.
Hi there.
And this is Peter.
That's Peter.
Hi, Peter.
He's a diehard Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Gozier.
This is Gabriel, another diehard Arsenal fan.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
So let's hear from Joy first. Joy.
Oh, well, Sophie, it was hugely, for me, I was actually downtrodden by that red card. It really took me by surprise. I was just about to settle down and enjoy the game, and then I became really downtrodden after that red card. I was looking for what happened. What was the reason why Rice got that red card? I was so mad at everybody here, and They were just telling me it was for one, they said Rice stepped on the guy, and then I didn't even know, I couldn't even see it. It was too soft a red from my point of view, actually. So I wouldn't really know what went down.
I totally agree with you. And I don't know what the rest of you guys think. The pundits here in the United States are talking about the fact that from a legal point of view, from the rules, the referee did the right thing. But in those situations, Femi and guys, we've seen a referee just calm the situation and say, listen, don't do that. You're already on a yellow. Give him a warning. It was petulant from Declan Rice, but even the petulance was slight. It's not like he kicked the ball into row Z and then he gets kicked. And also, I think it was Pedro who kicked the ball like 30 yards away in the first half. The inconsistency is what drives the Arsenal fans absolutely crazy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Sophie, I totally agree with you. We started a fantastic game. We had a very good build up, and we had some clear-cut chances that we didn't take. But we did incredibly well today. The red card affected our performance today. In my own opinion, the referee got it all wrong. He did not handle the red card situation very well. So I think we can take positive things out of this match situation today and look forward to better matches ahead. That's my opinion for today.
One of the horrible situations now that we're facing, you guys, is that yes, we wanted to go into this international break, the first one of the season, with 9 points. I felt like getting away with a point in the end was a good result for us, but we lose Declan Rice now for the North London derby. We've already lost Mikel Merino for 6 to 8 weeks. This is going to be a pickle. Now, in terms of challenging the decision, I don't believe that can be the case. You guys can correct me because it wasn't a straight red. Femi,
I was going to say that.
Yeah, this is not good news.
You should appeal.
Yeah, well, I don't think the appeal will work. But Femi, this is not good news for the North London derby. I didn't think Declan Rice started the season well. So for us, there's more problems mounting too early in the season.
Yeah. Well, it's still early days yet, Sophie. But again, there's an African proverb that says, "The morning shows the day." It's still early days, but it says when you wake up in the morning, the signs you see in the morning will tell you how good or bad the day will be. So from the way it is, I'm sure some Arsenal fans that are truly African will only see, oh, things may go south.
Well, I disagree with that.
Eddie disagrees.
I disagree. First and foremost,
tell us why.
We started the game very well. First and foremost, we started the game very well. I think the game changer was the referee. Is the 12th player of Brighton today, and he changed the game. Well, with the look of things, I think we have all going for us. He changed the game entirely.
So did you hear that? He said
yes.
The referee was the 12th player for Brighton.
I mean, there are a lot of Arsenal fans that think that. And when you look and see, I think that we can stomach certain decisions, right? But we can't stomach decisions where there's inconsistency. And the fact that we saw similar situations in the same game, yes, it was stupid from Declan Rice, but it was ridiculous from the referee to not be consistent. And I know there are lots of Arsenal fans that have issues with Chris Kavanagh, another referee from being up north. I don't want to get into any conspiracy theories, but you just cannot allow that to happen. And here we go again, a season where what's a handball going to be? You know, is the new VAR technology going to work? What can referees do to follow the letter of the law, but also be empowered to be able to make logical decisions when they're put in a situation similar to how Declan Rice was today? I love your optimism, guys. And I'm too going to be positive because we ended up not losing this game. And we're fortunate in that way. A couple of good saves by David Raya towards the end as well. But this situation is unfortunately systemic of the Premier League's inconsistency in refereeing.
Yeah, so I absolutely agree with you, and that's the major reason why I think referees should also, face the cameras after every match to give a thorough explanation for every decision they make.
Yes,
Sadly.
Because like you rightly mentioned during the game in the first half, we had a clear situation with Pedro, and he whacked the ball many meters away after the whistle had gone. And just here, I mean, a slight touch from Declan Rice, even though he was wrong and the referee was playing by the book, but so much disdain on the face of the referee, like he didn't care. No word of encouragement, no word of correction. He just flashed the yellow card, flashed the red card. At that point, to change the game, absolutely changed the game. I'm very sure, absolutely, that Brighton would never have scored a goal against Arsenal, without the red card. And even the goal that was scored, I believe Gabriel could have done better. Partey could have done better. Gabriel got there before Minte. He could have just slid in. Take the ball out of Minte's stride, or even commit a foul at the edge of the box. It's better than having
Saliba did
Saliba did
the same thing last
right or go at goal.
Our last match.
Partey could have also, tracked the run of Pedro, to stop him from taking the rebound, just the way they did for Saka, at the other end of the pitch. I feel it's early days. I feel Arsenal will recover from this, but the little injuries here and there, and the fact that it looks like we have quite a thin squad, it's a little bit, questionable. But I believe that we will weather the storm. There are still a lot of games to play, about 36 games, so we will bounce back. But it's a major setback because these are the kind of games you are not supposed to be losing. I remember at this point last season, we dropped points against Fulham. Easy games. We could have won those games. Silly mistakes here and there. And ultimately, the combination of all these games where we dropped points against smaller teams absolutely cost us the league last season. It was never the point against Aston Villa. It was this point we dropped against smaller teams last season that's beginning to rear its head again this season. It cost us from winning the league last season. And we should really take care not to allow what happened last season to repeat itself again this season.
Well said. Completely agree with you on that front. Why don't we talk about, let's stop giving Chris Kavanagh the limelight here. It's unfortunate that this has happened, of course. And I agree with you. In the Fulham and West Ham and Villa games, that was down to us. And in this particular game, I do feel like the referee's impact, he became the star of the show. And reputation-wise, you can't help but think there are some referees that like the limelight, but I want to focus on some positives with you. The first goal, I was preparing for a Saka Havertz love fest. I was preparing the show because I felt like we were going down this route where once again the two combined, and we were going to produce another win. Kai Havertz, beautiful lob. Yes, it was a defensive mistake, but the way Saka pounced on the ball, being available to him, and his through pass was absolutely delicious and played to perfection. That part, Femi, was indicative of how alert Havertz and Saka have been early on in this season. I feel like together with David Raya, they've been our two best players. A huge positive that their partnership is blooming so early in the season.
Yeah, and that's a major plus. It means in just 3 games, we can see the blending. By the time we play more games, with each game they play, they get better. The synergy becomes even stronger, and that further fortifies the squad. The good thing about this is, like I said, it is not a major setback. This is just a setback, not as a result of the players' inadequacies, but as a result of the showmanship of the center referee. So individually, we look at the players, we look at the collective efforts of the players, and see that truly things will go bright for Arsenal. Yes, this season. Sorry, I have to use the word bright because we just drew against Brighton. But
that's
okay.
No better. I like a good pun. One of the things that was up for discussion, and I had talked about it on the show all week, I preferred to start Martinelli and let him play out of his bad form and his funk.
I agree with
I
you.
like
Totally agree.
Trossard. I like Trossard to be
From the bench.
a super sub right now, and I wanted to see Martinelli being given another chance to start again. I'm of the camp where I think Trossard is far more effective when he comes off the bench. Your guys' thoughts on starting Trossard versus Martinelli today?
Everybody knows this fact. Personally, I do believe that having Martinelli start the game, it might not be impacting the game as the way we like him to impact the game from an attacking point of view. But the job he does defensively, he helps to tire out the other defenders, and he helps to also improve the game of our defenders. And when Trossard comes in, he's playing against already tired legs against the opposition, and it makes it very easy for him to score. So, struggling to get on the starting sheet and come on and not really impact the game, it's a problem. More often than not, before today's game, games where he starts from the first half, it doesn't really impact the game the way we want him to impact the game. So I think going forward, it's better for him to, come on as a sub and, impact the game after Martinelli has done all the runnings around and the opposing defenders are already tired. He works better that way for the team. Everybody and every player should know their position in the team and how well their skills can be exploited.
Yeah. The other thing too that's really interesting is I thought when Trossard came on in our last game, he actually changed the game completely and the energy and the vibe. And that's he's a total game changer, and that's what's needed. Like the perfect attribute for a substitute to have is to be able to come on and affect and change the game. And today I wanted to get your take too, before we get to their goal and Thomas Partey and how the centre backs handled that. I know we touched on it briefly. Is what did you think of Mikel going super defensive, 5 at the back, 5-3-1? Because there were quite a few fans on social media who felt like with our attacking prowess and the ability to control the ball in the midfield, albeit not the best today, that maybe we could have nicked a goal. And we did have the opportunity. We saw Saka and Havertz have opportunities to make it 2-1 as well. Your thoughts on changing from going 5 at the back? I don't blame Mikel Arteta for bringing on Calafiori. I don't blame him for trying to protect the scoreline that we had. But what are your thoughts?
Well, from the stats, we could see the expected goals ratio from both sides was really marginal. And Brighton were on the ascendancy. They had every chance because it was just Brighton. It was looking bright for them to get the next goal. Instinctively, any coach will want to just protect the present scoreline and hope to get on the counter and then get a goal that could change, the whole thing. And which indeed they tried. You had good men on the flank that could run them down and then get it. But I don't think there's anything wrong in readjusting and having 5 to protect, because instinctively you will first go defensive. You think of how to protect the current scoreline first, and then hope to just to nick that goal, which you will get. So I think Arteta did what any coach, any sound coach would have done.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I kind of agree with
go
Femi.
on. Go on, please.
The best thing to do at that point is to stabilize the team, have the team rock solid defensively, then you can build upon that. I think today we were a little bit out of sorts from an attacking standpoint, because if we had runners that could come on and change the game earlier, it would have been better. But the right thing to do was to protect the lead, have more defensive players, then just go on the counter, making roads behind their defense and see if we could score. We got 2 clear opportunities, but unfortunately we just couldn't convert. So it was not a bad move.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the goal and the goal that we conceded. I was first to think. My eyes, of course, went to Gabriel not making that challenge, and in my mind, I felt, wow, he's rewinding to some games, not last season, maybe the season before, the Fulham game, where he finds himself in those kind of difficult situations, making a challenge And I felt like he was afraid to make a Saliba type tackle today. We saw Saliba make that tackle against Aston Villa last week. But for many Arsenal fans, and I think they're all correct, is that the issue started in the center of the park with Thomas Partey not being able to track his runner. And when Mikel Arteta sees that, he's probably going to throw something across the room. Thomas Partey, I thought, had started quite well this season, runs out of gas. But how did you guys see the goal unfold?
Eddie.
Well, in actual fact, I think Thomas Partey does not play as it should. But flimsy excuse losing of the ball caused most of all these things. And last match before now, Saliba, this same scenario happened. With Saliba kicked the ball out, but Gabriel did not do this. So I think we need to regroup and come out strong in our next match. Thank God this is early matches. We learned from
salvage
this.
A draw.
Yeah, but we were able to salvage a draw because we did well.
All right.
Okay, this is from me, Peter. We had a solid defense, and they are doing incredible work. Today was just one of those days that you go to work and then you are not getting it right. But we can take a positive things out of today and improve on our defense because they are still young defenders. They still have room for improvement. So I believe in them. I believe they will keep improving and keep giving us the performances that we are looking forward to in every match of our matches.
I mean, I'd like to chip in something there. You know, I believe personally that the team had not fully adjusted to the red card. And you could tell before the pass came in, there was a lot of space between the defenders. I believe the defenders would stay a lot more compact. First of all, would be able to close up Minte earlier. However, I mean, Gabriel had the advantage. He got to the ball right about the same time Minte got to the ball. He could have just made that tackle, take one for the team, you know, get the ball off the stride of Minte, and I mean, we could have avoided the goal absolutely. And Partey could have, you know, tracked the run of
Partey could have done better.
Partey could have done a lot better.
Could have done better.
I believe situations like this would actually help the team, you know, improve on how to manage a red card during a game better. You know, we could have managed the red card a lot better because, in all fairness, we have the defense to take Brighton even 10 against 11. We have the defense for it. We just need to, you know, be aware of such situations and get prepared for them in case they happen in games.
And I think I'm just going to blame it on the early kickoff thing. It's always been easy. It's always a stress. It's a stress. I don't know if it affects the players too, but even if with the fans, early kickoffs mentally is draining generally. So let's just see how it goes.
Yeah. I agree. This is our third game of the season. An international break comes, and yes, we've lost Declan Rice, but we still have Jorginho. To me, it's logical for Jorginho to come into the midfield with Mikel Merino being injured for that game against Tottenham. Maybe we'll see Mikel Arteta pull a Emery and, you know, give Waneri a debut. Sometimes we see managers, I don't think he's going to take that kind of risk. He doesn't seem to be that kind of manager, but I love it sometimes when you see managers throw young players into massive games, especially if they're earmarked to have a long career at the club. What would you guys do as we stay on the subject of the midfield, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, for the Tottenham game? Who are you playing in midfield?
I think introduction of Jorginho will be better for us. He has experience. He can be offensive too, and we can have Thomas Partey as the defensive holding midfielder, and we can look at Jorginho first half and then introduce Waneri second half to come in. So I think that's my own contribution for the match against Tottenham that's coming on.
Eddie.
I second him because in actual fact, you need young players to take up the mantle. And I believe Waneri can do that. But most times, most of all, like today's game, if you have given chance to Waneri, I believe he can stand up for the game.
All right, Joy.
Oh, so I think for now, Partey has been a bit laggy. He's been quite Declan Rice has been covering up for him. I would rather he's allowed to rest, and then Nwaneri and Jorginho start.
No, I completely disagree with that, because for me, I believe, in as much as Partey is not physically there at the moment, he's extremely experienced.
Yeah.
You know, I would rather play him as the 6, play Jorginho as well for balance, because you're playing against a very attacking and experienced Tottenham side, and it's a derby. There's always that bragging right.
Yeah.
I would rather want to have my team balanced, understand the dynamics of the game, than I throw in a young lad who is ready and daring, you know, to make his mark and show the coach that, oh, I can do this as well. So I'd rather go for balance against Tottenham. Then as the game grows, I would now introduce the young guns that can, you know, go all out and say, yes, Tottenham is shit, you know, and get a goal.
Well, Sophie, for me, it's the North London derby. Yeah. You don't toy with that.
No.
It's just like here. There's a small generating set they call "I better pass my neighbor." So at this point, Arsenal will have to prove that I'm better than this neighbor, and in showing that, you must bring out your best and your most experienced. You don't want to be the butt of the joke going into this kind of window like this. So I'm sure the best will be Partey, and then Jorginho, and perhaps the 70th or 80th minute, bring in Nwaneri. I don't think Nwaneri could be, unless the uneventful happens. Perhaps there's a red card again, and a Partey is out. That is when, or early you can begin. But I know, God forbid, that won't happen, because again, I can imagine how Arsenal fans will feel if that happens. But we want to go into this North London derby full scale, and then with full energy, all guns blazing, and get all 3 points. It should be something like 3-0. Should be nice for a derby.
Well, a little announcement here. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'll just do this real quick for our friends at Football Prizes. This competition ends on Monday at 7:30. Let me just get rid of this banner. It's a triple chance to win Dennis Bergkamp signed Arsenal shirt. There's a lot of other prizes that you can get stuck into. A triple threat, Dennis Bergkamp, Football Prizes, our partner for this season. There's 325 tickets available, $3.95 only, to own some legendary swag from one of the Arsenal's greatest ever players, Dennis Bergkamp. So please don't forget to go over to Football Prizes and put your hat in the ring for an opportunity to win. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Your point, let's get your point in before we move on to the last subject here.
Yeah, you were allowed to be a point.
Oh yeah, I said I can't wait for the game, the Tottenham game. I really can't wait. If I'm going to predict, we're going for a 3-1.
Whoa, she says it's going to end 3-1.
3-1.
Okay, well, we're going to have plenty of time to discuss that game. And I also just wanted to say, Mark, thank you. I was speaking to some of the guys over there, and I spoke to Kevin's sister this week. And yes, a wonderful tribute again to Super Kev, this time at Goodison Park, the last season at Goodison Park. Such a shame that our legend isn't here to see them transition to their new stadium. I know that he was very excited about that, but a 1-minute applause for Super Kev at Goodison Park on 9 minutes. Super classy from Everton, another great club that he played for, that are doing all that they can to keep his legacy alive as well. So thank you, Everton Football Club, for recognizing our Super Kev on this day. He would be on the show now. We'd be talking about the match, and so we keep it going for him and for all of us. I think it helps me for sure in terms of trying to move on. Right, let me get you guys on this. So let's do some quick fire play ratings, okay? Because the referees overshadowed everything. We're kind of bummed because we felt like, you know, we were on the road to 3 points. But let's talk about some of our players. How did you think? What's your rating? And let's do this one quickly. Let's pound through it. What's your rating for David Raya today?
Great.
Always 100.
Ryan,
Always 100.
your rating.
David
For Ryan,
Raya.
for Ryan.
David Raya. Oh, he's always 100.
He's always
He's always
100.
100.
Over 10, over 10.
Over 10.
10 over 10.
10 over 10.
10 over
10 over 10.
He's
David Raya.
he's been
over
out.
10.
10 over 10.
He's
10 over
Always.
10.
he's been
Today-
our best
today
player.
Today I'll give Raya a 10. I usually don't give 10, but I'll give him a 10 because of the double save he made last week, and he did it again this week. So
Yeah.
I'll give him 10 because of that.
Okay, Benjamin White.
You gave him what? 9.
9 for Benjamin White.
Because he considered a goal?
Yeah.
Nah.
Because,
Nah.
yeah, just because I feel fine, he held his own when it comes to his own space. Commander, I'm not generous with giving points that way. I can't give a 10 over 10. 10 over 10 means you would have done everything not to concede at least a goal. You would have done everything to make sure your own department was right, no matter the situation.
Don't forget we're a man down.
No, it doesn't matter. So that's why I will give him a 9. for the
Okay,
fact
you're giving
that-
David Raya a 9. I thought you were giving Benjamin White a 9, and I thought that was a little excessive. But
No.
yeah,
Okay. So for Benjamin, that'll go for an 8. You?
I think 9 for me.
Personally, I'll give Benjamin White a 7. He got run over a lot of times by Mitoma. So you shouldn't allow that happen. You shouldn't allow the winger, make inroads behind you. So I'll give him a 7 for that.
I give him 7 over 10.
okay, cool.
I'm giving him a 10.
You're giving him a 10.
I'm giving him a 10.
Why?
You're
Excuse
very
me, pardon
generous
me.
with you.
I'm giving him a 9, actually. I'm giving him a 9 because, yeah, we consider it some corner kicks from his angle. That's why he's getting a 9. But overall, I respect Ben White a lot. He holds his own most times. So I'm giving him the 9.
Okay, so let's do these together, right? We'll do defense, midfield, attack, and then if you want to mention a particular player, you can. But let's do Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber. What's your take on that?
Okay.
For Saliba, 10 over 10.
Oh, it's a joint. Okay, did you say as a defense, a collective?
Collective.
Okay, collectively.
Or individual?
Yeah, I think let's do it collectively.
Okay,
And then you can mention any individual that you felt like played the best.
Well,
Okay, for the defense, the collective of Saliba, Benjamin, Timber, and Gabriel, I'll give them a 7.5. Honestly, I would, because of that goal conceded and how Gabriel wasn't fast enough to ward off that. Yeah, to ward off that rebound.
Okay.
Okay.
For me, for the collection of the entire defense, I'm going to give them a 7. And the reason I'll give them a 7 is because they were too. There was a lot of space in behind for that goal, and that's why I'm going to give them a 7. However, I think the stand-up performer for me from the defense was Timber. He was able to marshal out the attacker from the other flank comfortably. He posed no threats, So he was my best performer from the defense.
I also give them 7. They did well.
Yeah,
Despite
I'll give him.
the commentary.
I'm with you. I think I'll give them a 7 too. Okay, let's do the midfield. All together, what's the mark for the midfield today?
Oh,
I'll give
Shambali.
them 6.
Shambali. 5.5.
I'll give them 6.
I'll give them 6.
6.
Personally, I'll give the entire midfield a 5. They were all over the place.
Where?
All over the place. We're losing the ball
All over the
in
place and
unusual
nowhere.
places. Partey kept falling, kept trying to dilly-dally with the ball and, losing his ground, considering the turnover. It's just too much, causing the team to be on the back foot a lot of time. I think you don't do that when the stakes are high. So on the basis of that, I'll give the team a 5. The midfield, rather, I'll give them a 5.
And they had some issues with transitioning. The midfield didn't really
Yeah,
do
yeah,
well.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
not able to
Transitioning from
transition
defense
well.
to attack.
Yeah.
So Havertz and Saka had barely enough chances
They
to
had
work with.
supply.
Yeah.
They lacked supply.
They lacked supply.
Rather than having the ball distributed sideways so that they could surge forward, the ball kept moving in the middle.
And they
just
kept
among
losing the ball.
And they kept
And
losing
even when
the ball.
Odegaard had a clear opportunity to score in the first half, he just passed the ball back to the keeper. I mean,
For the first time,
Carry your
I'm not
chances.
very happy with
carry
Odegaard.
your chances.
I'm really unhappy with him, but for this game, I really am unhappy with him. So it's a 5 from me for the weak midfield.
I think you've all summed it up brilliantly. The midfield was when you want them to be the masters of the universe and to control the game. It felt like Odegaard was carrying a knock. Declan Rice gets sent off. A 5 is generous, I think, for the way they played today. Mikel Arteta is going to be spewing all night long. He will not be able to sleep
Very
because
sure.
these are going to be points dropped for sure. Okay, let's go into the attack. What is your collective mark for our strike force today?
Wow. Our attack. Oh, God. Today was something else. They missed a lot of chances. Well, we would have taken good chances by now, would have been like 2 or 3 ahead of Brighton. So I'll give them 4.
Henry,
Wow.
despite I still have doubt over Havertz. Despite scoring goal and this, I still believe we need a striker. But I give this 7.
7? Okay, Joy.
Oh well, we need a striker. Havertz tried that, but like I said, the midfield didn't supply them well enough balls to work with. So I'm just gonna do a 6.
Havertz had a clear chance.
Hey,
Okay.
So I mean, if you don't get the balls, how are you going to score?
Exactly.
So I'm going to give the attack an overall 4, and the reason is this: on the side of Trossard on the left flank, there was no really interesting output, nothing. However, Havertz got the goal. Havertz is the only person that's got the 4 points for the attack. Havertz and Saka,
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll give them a 5. Because there was no real fusion between Trossard, Kai Havertz, and Saka. No real intent from them. So today was just a bad day in the office for them. I'll give them a 5. They can absolutely do better. I'm of the school of thought that we do need an attack, but I believe that Kai Havertz has been carrying this attack very well, and he can continue to do it because he absolutely finds space every time. He finds space, and the defense just don't know where he is at any point in time, and he gets in behind the defense to score goals. So I believe we can hold our own until we get the striker. So 5 for the attack for me.
For now.
Okay, for me, for the attack, I will give a 4. With a higher expected goal ratio and a lower goal attempt. Definitely, that shows a lot about what happened to the attack today. Having a higher expected goal ratio means the team collectively surged forward to attack. You expect them to get the goals. However, those to deliver the goals fail to deliver the goals. So that's why they get a 4. And the 4 is being distributed evenly, not for one person. It's evenly distributed, so the entire attack will get a 4.
That's generous.
Okay. All right. I think the attack looked like, other than Trossard, Saka and Havertz, as I've said, looked like they were cooking. And it's such a shame that the red card came because I felt like they were going to have one of those games where they're totally in sync. I like their partnership and how their partnership is evolving and growing and maturing as well. And then maybe we would have seen a Martinelli come on and be able to actually play his position the way he's supposed to play his position, without being down to 10 men as well. So for me, I think they were the bright spark in the game, and I'll give them a 6 because if it wasn't for the red card, I think we would have seen our attack today play cohesively and as they should be. Right. What are we giving the gaffer? What mark does Mikel Arteta get today from you guys?
I think we have a young coach that is his performances keep improving every day, and during the match I made some comment that he still lacks some maturity in decision making. But as for today's performances, I will give him 9.
9.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's real generous.
Wow.
Okay.
That's real generous.
Well, I'll give it 7.
Okay.
I'll give it 7.
7. Joy.
He gets a 5 from me because he needs to drill these guys. We shouldn't even be lagging the way we did today. He better drills them well. after this match. He's getting a 5 from me, nothing more than that.
Wow, Joy's been so generous, and now she was kind of, I was going to label her joinerous, but she is absolutely slaughtered Mikel Arteta there.
I mean, for me, I'll give the Gaffer a 6, and the reason I'll give him a 6 is because I believe he could have made the change a little earlier than he did. Even if, I mean, you're supposed to allow the team to try to settle and understand what has just happened, take it in. I feel the change should have come a little earlier than it did. So for that singular action, I'll give him a 6.
Well, for me, I'll give Mikel Arteta a 5. When that red card incident happened, he reacted like a player on the field, not like the coach.
Exactly.
He failed to immediately understand that he was the shepherd, he was the gaffer, the manager that should immediately make the change and coordinate the guys, let the guys get out of their emotions. He was as emotional as the players.
Absolutely.
So at that point in time, I even thought he was going to lace boots and then get to the field of play. But so I give him a 5 for failing at that point to react the way he should as the gaffer, as the manager on the side. So 5.
I mean, I would expect him to, redistribute roles to the players, pass on some strong message, to keep them going mentally. But we didn't see any of that. We saw an Arteta looking sort of confused,
like a player,
like Rice.
Yeah,
like he was the one who got the red card. Yeah. I expected him to, make the decision with the technical crew and redistribute information to the players in terms of positions and roles. But he didn't do that early enough, and I mean the goal came. So for that reason, 6 is for me. Fine.
All right. Wow. I love it. You guys have been honest and fair. Is there one more score to come, or have we all given our mark? We all have.
Okay. Like I said earlier, it's still lacking. It's not matured in decision making.
Yeah.
So
listen, I think it's really hard, you guys, to go into a game with a game plan. How many managers are going into a match thinking, okay, if we get a red card, we'll do this? Now, there's a contingency plan always for everything, and Mikel Arteta plans everything down to a T. But when you have your game plan and that's disrupted, I thought unfairly by the referee, but we've talked about that, you have to let the game play out just a little bit for me. In terms of, because you never quite know what opportunity might come. I think he was right to play the time that he did before he made the adjustment. And regardless, we walked away from that with a point where we could have easily have lost the game. So for me, Mikel Arteta gets a 7 today. They want us to talk about the subs collectively real quick. And I mean quick fire here. The subs, how did you think Calafiori did? And what do you think about the subs? What's your mark?
Yeah, fantastic sub. Calafiori came in and he did very well. So the subs was great.
For me, personally, I think the game was already swinging towards the direction of Brighton, and the subs didn't really have a lot of time to impact the game. So I'll generally just give them a 5.
Oh, well, Martinelli came in and gave that extra push because when he came in, we were able, our attack became much more strengthened.
Yeah.
We're able to do the long ball thing. At least I know I saw Raya pull out like twice that Martinelli and Saka almost followed up on, save for the one man down. We couldn't follow up with most of those long balls, but they pushed, they gave a little bit of push. So I'm just going to do a 5.5 for the sub.
Yeah, I think I should give them 5. Martinelli came in and changed the game outright with his runs.
Yeah.
So I gave them 5.
I was happy for him. Yeah.
Perhaps 6. Did well. Kala also had quite a good game.
Yeah.
Strong. He put up a very strong, spirited performance from Kala. So I think for the sub, 6 from me.
Okay. All right, that's very fair. And I was happy to see Martinelli come in and play a little bit better than he had been. All right, that's our analysis of the game. Let's give a rating to our Nigerian Gooners here, live chat, and everyone in the YouTube comments, because I think your debut has been absolutely superb. The energy you've brought to the show, and you've been you started off very positive. You got ruthless, but you bring such good vibes. And I think this is a good time. You've been getting tens, by the way. Harvey gives you 1,000. Don't worry, Harvey. I'm going to ask them about Osimhen. You're getting 111 and lots of love. Everyone in live chat has really enjoyed you, and I'm very excited. And I'm really excited to make this announcement, by the way, because it's been a long time coming. And the Highbury Squad, once again, is blazing the trail when it comes to content online. I'm really proud to announce that we, this season, are launching a live show that Femi will be hosting. And you can't see the whole thing there, but you can there. The Highbury Squad presents Afro Gunners with Femi Raji live from Nigeria. There's no other show that gives you a live weekly show from the African continent. And we are absolutely stoked to be doing this. And Femi, who was the communications manager for the Super Eagles, also a broadcaster on one of the biggest radio stations. And listen, we've even got a song for it.
Yeah. Dance from afar. Territory no surrender. Asna, Femi Raji, you did. They were the better. Every spirit. We no good time. Africans, we get the on top of beating record. We never go flop. Better to Ghana, Sassy to Zambia, and Rwanda. We gotta get moving. Africans, we get the on top of beating record. We never go flop. Better to Ghana, Sassy to Zambia, and Rwanda. We gotta get moving. Afro Gunners from Nigeria, Kampala, Bamako. Make them para everywhere, everywhere. Here we go. I'm eating for record. DPL, where they own. They never win league. I'm a love you so no matter challenge.
What a tune.
I don't pick us enough for the game. With the best, tell them.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Femi.
Yes, so
You guys are amazing, and I'm so excited about this. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what they can expect from our Afro Gunners show live from Nigeria weekly.
all right, so Femi, Baba Femi Raji, former media officer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, with a national honor member of the Order of the Niger by the president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, after finishing second on the last AFCON. I've been in broadcasting for 17 years and hosted several shows. And I have a lot of energy. And what you expect from Afro Gunners from this end is a lot of energy. See, we in Nigeria, we in Africa, we are loud and we have the vibe. And the way we will give the vibes, our vibes will spur Arsenal and other Arsenal fans to, resonate, catch on that vibe as well, and spur Arsenal to win the Premier League. So from our end here, we'll be putting up a lot of energy to ensure we push the Gunners there and the Gunners worldwide to, go win the Premier League. And we're looking forward to when Arsenal will have the African tour. And of course, the team will be in Nigeria. So we're laying the foundation for that to happen.
I love it. It's brilliant stuff. And you guys, I love your energy and really excited. And Femi will be hosting the show. He'll have great guests. And they've already been asking me about King Kanu. I mean, just calm down. It's all you will see what will happen, and you will see what he'll bring to the table. And I'm sure a King Kanu visit on Highbury Squad's Afro Gunners with Femi Raji is in the future. Big time, big time, big time. So, and before I let you guys go, they want to know about Osimhen and what happened and what you guys think. And if you wanted to see him at the Arsenal, if you think that's something we should try and do in January. What a debacle of a transfer, Femi. It all fell apart. I'm not sure what he wants or where he wants to go, but your take real quick on him, because everyone's asking on Victor.
Yeah, for me, I was disappointed that Osimhen didn't make a move, and I think a lot of factors played played out here. Number one, in retrospect, I think that extension he had at Napoli really cost this. Then number two, had it been he had not had that contract extension, it would have been quite easy to make the move. And then number two, a whole lot of factors. Perhaps the big clubs were shying away, taking into consideration maybe a player that may not be able to play 38 games in the league, injury prone, and a few other things. But that doesn't matter. We'll still wait and see what happens in January. Although I don't like the January transfer window, I feel it's night. There's what we call night market in Nigeria. Night market. That is where they go to buy second-hand, fairly used materials. Everywhere is that. You're not sure what you are getting. So, and that's why I don't like January transfer window. It's like night market. So by the time it goes, and I don't want our own gold, our own prize jewel to be sold in the night market. So it will be seen as a night market material. So
All right.
perhaps
Wow.
we can see the season out. That'll be fine.
Love it.
Personally, I believe that it's not too much of a big deal that we didn't get to see him. He would have been a good addition to the team, considering his firepower, style of play. You know, he has a lot of energy to burn. He can harry and harass defenders, and he can absolutely score goals. You know, he can be that X factor. You know, it would have been a good one to sign him. But I mean, it's what it is. All we can do is just to hope that he gets a very good, you know, alternative for Osimhen. But it was a big miss for Arsenal because, I mean, games like this, you know, Osimhen is the kind of player that can just bring out something from the bag.
For the Blues.
You know, he can just bring out something from the bag, not just playing to the book, just playing to the letter, the way Arteta says you must play. He can actually do something different when you really don't expect. So it's quite a big miss. But I mean, Arsenal, we can do without
for him. I don't think it's big for him. Even.
I think for me, I totally agree with him.
I don't think it's
Point of view, we really missed Osimhen, and we are looking forward to a better striker because so far we are still lacking the striking force in Arsenal. So I think January we can do something about our striking.
Yeah, to me, if I prefer Osimhen to Havertz, and we still need him. Be it January night market or be it mid market, whatever, we still need him.
Oh well, for me, whatever Arteta wants is what I want. Whatever Arteta and Edu want, I want. If they don't want to see me, if they think he's not good for us at the moment, I'm good with it. So for now,
I love that.
I'm fine with what we have.
I love that. Well said, Joy. And listen, you guys, thank you so much for your time today. I need to plan a trip to Nigeria. This is a must.
You're always welcome.
Yes, and I can't wait to learn more about your culture, the way you enjoy football, digest football. It's going to be fantastic. And I hope our listeners are going, I know they're going to embrace this and it's going to be absolutely brilliant. So Femi and everyone, thank you so much. You will see Femi this week live for his first Afro Gunners episode. Look out on our YouTube channel for when that will be. I think we're looking at Thursday, but please check our X account and our YouTube community page. Squaddies, we couldn't do this show without you. Please tell everyone about our new show. Tell all your friends, tell your African friends. Listen, we have a kit this season that pays homage to African culture. And it just so happens to be the timing. And it's a kit that has really grown on me now, you guys. I wasn't sure about it at first, but when you look at all of those things, hopefully you'll get the Gunners in Africa next summer. Thank you, guys. It has been an absolute pleasure. We walk away with the point today. Yes, it was disappointing, but we didn't lose. And that's the most important thing. We did have a referee who was, I think, looking to be the star of the show, but Declan Rice definitely needs to do better. He hasn't started off the season very well, and our midfield need to click into gear because we have a massive game when we return from the international break. Good night from Nigeria. Good morning from Los Angeles. Highbury Squad is the show that goes global. We'll leave you all with this, and at ease, squaddies, at ease. And remember the rule. Don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them. Until next time, we leave you with our Afro Gunners tune. Enjoy and have a great weekend.
And you too.
Bye. Snap for life. Today we die. We Afro Gunners. We did the on top of beating record. We never gon' flop like that to Ghana, Sati to Zambia and Rwanda. We gotta demo. We Afro Gunners. We did the on top of beating record. We never gon' flop like that to Ghana, Sati to Zambia and Rwanda. We gotta demo. On top, God, flop, Ghana, Zambia, Rwanda. On top, we never gon' flop. Sati to Zambia and Rwanda, we gotta demo. This is the Afro Gunners show, brought to you by Baba Femi Raji, happening on the Highbury Squad podcast on Arsenal Radio. Keep listening, don't touch that dial. Yes, sir.